Hello, and I welcome you to Code with Ibra once again. I am very happy to be seeing you here, and in this lecture we are going to learn about CSS position. Okay, so position is all about how to position your elements, whether at the top, bottom, left, right, center, whatever you want it to be. Okay, how to achieve that using CSS. Okay, so let me walk you through the project setup. When we come to the Explorer, I have my index and also I have my CSS file. The index is the HTML file that we will be coding, and then the CSS is simply the CSS. So in the HTML file, I have linked the CSS on the line 7. So in case you are new to linking, you can go to the initial, to the top of the playlist. That's where we did that, so you can have your way there. Okay, you are not left out. We have covered that already, so you can find your way there. All right, so to start with position, let me come to the style, and then let me start the body. Let me give the body a height of 1400 pixel. Okay, and inside the body we also create a div. Let me call this one absolute. Okay, let's call it box, because making it absolute will not change anything. Okay, let me call it box, since I'm going to have a lot of boxes for the demonstration. I'll make this one box 1. Okay, and then I'll write here box 1. Very good. Let's go to the CSS and let's target the box 1. All right, we will not give it any star, but let's go to the browser and check what we have so far. Okay, I think I have live server loading. I don't like it that way, so let me come back to the site and open it so that changes will be seen in a way that I want it to be shown. So this is the box 1 and this is the height. We can now see that yes, I want this scroll bar to be seen. That is why I have given it a height of 1400 pixel. I'm talking about this one. I gave it this height so that the page will have a height. Okay, that will introduce this scroll bars that we are seeing here. All right, and this is simply our box. So let's give the box a styling so that it can look good. Okay, so I'll give it a padding of 20 pixels, and I'll give the box a background color of red. And I'll give it a color of white. Okay, let's do it step by step so that you get to understand. I'll refresh, and this is the box. Okay, I will give the color of white. When we give the color white, we are simply changing this box that you are seeing here, this text, to white. So we refresh and it's now white. Okay, but there was one thing that you can see here. You see this, because the element is a block level element, it is spanning to the end of the screen. Okay, but we don't want that way, so let's simply stop that from happening with the width property. Let's set it to fit content. You can also set it to display. You can set a display inline block and it will also work. A display inline block. Sure, inline block, not block, inline block. That one will fix it. Okay, that one will fix it. So this is what we have. Let me give it border radius of 4 pixels. We give a border radius of 4 pixels, and now we see sort of rounded corners with our box. Okay, so what if we want this box to move somewhere here? Hello, this is actually what we are going to do. Or else what if we want the box to come to this side of the screen, or we want it to be here, or even at the center of the screen? So this is what we are coming to look in this section. First of all, and what we are going to do is we are going to move this box here. Okay, we are going to move this box to this side, the bottom left of the screen. So this is how the explanation goes. It all starts with CSS position property. So positioning property is a way of positioning elements wherever that you want them to be positioned on the screen or inside the browser. Okay, and the position, we have so many types of position. Okay, as we have the absolute, we have the static, we have the sticky, we have so many that we are coming to look at it, so don't worry with the types. All right, very good. And one thing that I'll also send across is we use top and bottom, left and right to position the element. But before I demonstrate it, let me start with the position element first. So position, I set the position to absolute. Okay, actually when you set the position to absolute, what happens is you now lose this object. Every element in HTML is locked in the container is defined in. Okay, so the particular place that the element is or has been defined, that is the exact location or exact place that the element is locked there. That means the element cannot move up and down, left and right the way it wants. We can do that with margin and padding, but for your element to move freely up and down, left and right across the screen, that one is achieved using the position property, position value of absolute. Okay, so the value of absolute first will set this element loose from wherever it has been tied, right? Very good. So let's refresh. Now we refresh, we see nothing happening. We see that the element is sitting where it is. Okay, it's sitting where it is, but the actual thing that has happened to it is it has been changed, it has been loosed. So now it can travel anywhere it wants. It can come here, it can go there, come here, whatever it want to go, it can go. Okay, so the question is, how do we bring this box at the bottom left of the screen? How do we do that? Very good. How we do that is we simply use the top and bottom, left and right to manipulate or control the element that we have specified positioned for. Okay, so in this example, we have specified position for the box 1, which is this particular element. So on that note, we can be able to use the top and bottom, left and right. All right, so before we begin, let's go to the top, and I want us to comment this one out because this is not time for using this one. Okay, this is not time. We will use the height we will give the height to the body when we are trying to test out the position fixed. So for now, let's comment it out. So I'll go to the browser and you can see that we have our box. Okay, I just changed the background from red to orange. So if you don't have that, you can add it. Okay, so we have the background orange and our box is sitting at the top left of our browser or in our screen. Okay, on our screen rather. So what we are coming to do is we are coming to use the CSS property top, left, button, right, we are coming to use them to be moving this box across the screen. Okay, so that's what we are coming to do. All right, now we will come here and we will specify button equals 0. Now watch this in action. If we say button is equal to 0, that means we are telling this box that, hey box, the width that you have at the bottom here, we have made it 0. So on that note, you have nothing to stand on. Okay, it's like see it as this thing is having some chains here. Okay, see them as they are having some chains here, that is holding them at the place they are. Okay, so the moment we specify a button of 0, that means we are telling this chain that is holding the element at the top here that, okay, you chain, you've now been broken into pieces, so now you are 0. Okay, so the moment we set it to 0, it is going to push this man to the down there. All right, so we know that we've set the button to 0. Now let's refresh and see something. Very good. Now when we refresh, you see that now the chain that is holding the guy is off. So on that note, he's at the down there. All right, we see the guy now here because what was holding him is now off. All right, so what if we want this box to be at the middle of this side? We want it to be here. Well, if we want it to be there, what we have to do is we can tell the button that, okay, instead of button being 0, we are giving you a size of 50%. Okay, so 50%, instead of you coming down to the button here, you will now get stuck around somewhere here. You just divide the screen into 2, and then you will sit at the center, at the middle, because 50% is all about dividing it equally. All right, let's refresh and see. Very good. So now that we refresh, you see that this guy that was previously at the button here, previously here, is now here. Okay, it's now here. So that's all about the button, right? This is the button. We can also move it to the left, but I love to set it to, okay, let it be at the 50%. You understand it that way. So we also want this box, okay, to move to the left. Mind you, see the box as always they have some chains, okay, sort of like something holding them here, pushing them here, something pushing them to where they are. So the moment we set the position, the moment we set the left property to 0, this one will come here, because that means we have shortened, we have made the chain that is holding this man, we've set it to 0. That means it's broken, it's not there. So when it comes like that, the guy will have to move to the other side. Okay, so let me demonstrate it. Let me say that left is now equal to 0. Sorry, right, I'm talking about right, okay, because it's already at the left side. It's already at the left side, so I'm talking about the right. This is the right. I want it to come here. Now we have set the right to be equal to 0. Okay, let's refresh and see it in action. Very good. You see, as we set the left to 0%, now the element has moved from this side, and now it's sitting at the left side. Yes, sure, at the right side. Okay, that's how it is. What if you want it to be at the center? If you want it to be at the center, it's very simple. You just give the right a value of 50%, and you see it will divide the screen into 2 and will sit in the middle, as you are seeing. Okay, so this thing is now in the middle of the screen. All right, it's now in the middle of the screen. It has a width of 50%, and you can see that it's not properly sitting at the center of the screen. Even though when we maximize, it behaves as though it is sitting at the middle, but when we try to reduce the size of the screen, that is where we get to know that the guy is not really sitting at the center. Okay, there's another property called transform translate that we will look in the next few lectures. Okay, but that one will make sure that it sets the content at the center of the screen. Okay, so don't worry of what you are seeing now. We are going to do the necessary changes, but for now you need to understand the positions. All right, you need to understand the positions. All right, so if you are enjoying the content, I will ask you to subscribe. Kindly subscribe, give us like, let me see your comment in the comment section. This is the only way that we get motivated to always bring you new content. All right, okay, so let's continue. And it's not only bottom and then the right that we have. Okay, it's not only the bottom and then the right that we have. We also have other like the top. Okay, we have others like the top. The moment you set the top to 0, okay, let me comment this one out. Now we know what it does. So the moment we set the top to 0, all right, let me uncomment them. Yeah, okay, let me take this one out and comment it so that we get to know the changes correctly. So we refresh. This was how it took. This was how the box was by default. So now we give it a top of 0. Okay, and the chain that is holding this man, you see there are some spaces at the top there. When we refresh, all those spaces will be gone, and it will get to the edge of the screen the way you are seeing here. Okay, have you seen it? It will get to the edge of the screen. We can also come and then give it a property called a property of left equals 0, and when we set the left equals 0, we are telling the element that chain here, giving, you see there's some space here, some margin here, that's a sort of chain that pushes this object at where it is. So we are setting it loose. Okay, we are setting it loose. So let's refresh. Very good. Okay, and now we see that our content is at the top left, and it has it is hitting the edges of the top and then the left of the screen. Okay, it is hitting that side. And one thing that I want you to understand is you cannot use this top, left, bottom and then the right properties if you have not set or if you are not using the position. Okay, so let me comment out the position and look at what will happen. The moment we comment out the position, our object will be like how it was. Okay, it will be like how it was. We can come and then apply the button of 50. Oh, my bad. Let me move this one here. Okay, we can apply the bottom of 50%, and instead of it coming to this side, we will refresh and we see it sitting at where it is. The main reason why we are seeing this is not because of anything. It's because we have not specified position. So each time that you are working on your site and you find out that you are trying to use the top and left, bottom and right, and it's not working, you need to first check if you have if you have specified the position property. All right, so this is about the position absolute in CSS. Okay, you can do so many things. Whatever that you want to put the content, you can use that property to do it. What if we want to push this element? We want to push this element sitting here. We want to bring it instead to this side. What should we do? Okay, I want you to pause the video and try them yourself. After you have done, you come back to resume the video. All right, thank you so much. If you could do it, that is very fine, and if you couldn't do, it's very good. Let's do it together. So one thing that I keep saying is, if you are a programmer and you make mistakes, you need to love it. One of my best friends is mistake, because when I'm trying to do something and I'm getting mistakes, it pushes me to learn more. It motivates me to research, and through the research you see me getting the idea or getting the understanding of the concept very clearly. Okay, so if you tried to do it and you had an error, don't worry, that is how we grow. So you are growing. Okay, all right, so we want to push this one to this side, and we know that right now it is sitting, this one is at the top and also at the left. Okay, so if you want it to come here first thing first, this box need to come here, come to the bottom here, and when it comes here, then it goes this side. Okay, that's the only way we can do it. Or you can send it here and then give it another property for it to come to the bottom here. So let's get it started. All right, let me comment all that we have here now. Okay, let me comment all that we have. Refresh the browser to see it again. Very good. Now I'll first push this content to the right side of the screen. So I will have to give it the right property of 0. Me giving it right property of 0 is simply mean that invisible chain or invisible margin here that is keeping the content at this side. I am breaking it off so that it will set this this element loose. Okay, it's like a chain holding it, so the chain will be broken, and when the chain is broken, it will come here, it will come to this side. So we have given the right of 0, so let's refresh, and when we refresh, you see that now it has come to this side. Okay, it has come to this side, and right now that we have pushed it to this side, we need to also bring it down here. Okay, so we will tell this element with CSS that the chain that is holding you, or that invisible thing, that margin that is giving you this space here, we want to break it down. Okay, so breaking it down, you see this one is button, right? Coming down here is button, coming down here is button. So we come and then specify the bottom, okay, to 0, and when we set it to 0, that means that invisible chain sitting here is gone. Let's refresh. Very good, and you see our box is now at the right bottom of the screen. Okay, at the right button of the screen, but you can see that this is hitting the edges. If you want some spaces to appear around the element, instead of giving 0, we can specify something like maybe 10 pixels, and when we set 10 pixels, watch closely, look at what will happen at the side. Let's refresh. Now you see there's some space there. Okay, so it's not only about percentage that you can use any unit of measurement for the right, left, bottom properties. Okay, you can use any unit of the unit of measurements that are available. You can use them and it will work successfully. So look at the down also, we refresh and you see some spaces. All right, so basically that's all about the position absolute. Okay, that is about the position absolute. When you want to move your content to anywhere that you want, maybe to the left, to the right, to the middle, everywhere you want, you can do it with the position absolute. Okay, and one thing that I made mention of is when we set our content, when we set it to, let me revert back to how what it was. So let me take this one off. As for you, I know you have saved it, I know you have it there, so you can always refer. When we come back to the screen and we refresh, we see our content sitting inside, sitting at the center of the screen, and that's because of what we have specified here. Okay, so in your own free time, try as much as possible, manipulate these values, change them so that you get familiar with them. Okay, and that's not all that. Very soon, immediately after this lecture, or one to few lectures, I will try as much as possible to bring on board some advance or something that will add up to the position property that we are looking on today, the lecture that we are on today. Okay, but you need to understand that we can't bring everything in one video. I can do everything in one video, but that will affect most people. You will not understand it well, so we have to take it bit by bit. When we start to we create projects, then you see that all these small things that we did, we were not just joking, we were doing something. Okay, so right now I want you to cooperate with me, try as much as possible and do exactly what we are doing. Okay, follow us, and by the grace of God you will get there soon. All right, so this is something small that I want to share with you in this lecture, and we will meet in the next lecture. But I will ask you to kindly subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed. Try and give us your comment, let us know how you feel about this lecture, and if also I made a mistake, I will be glad for you to point it out to me, because we are also and always learning. Thank you so much and see you in the next lecture.